Good morning. This is Ron Furlong. I'm the Executive Director of the Amherst Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined this morning with Mr. Jody O'Blenis, who's an independent in the 2021 federal election. Mr. O'Blenis, if you would like to introduce yourself and what you have to offer as a candidate in this election, please go ahead.
I'm Jody O'Blenis. I'm 44 years old. I've been in Cumberland, Colchester my whole life. The reason I'm running independent is I'm tired of seeing the bigger parties do nothing for Cumberland, Colchester. And as running as an independent, I don't have to toe the party line, so I can vote either which way I want. But it's time for Cumberland, Colchester to have an actual change with an independent, I think, over the your federally looked at parties. They switch back and forth all the time. So I figure I can have a lot more to offer to fix the healthcare and areas like that, support the infrastructure and so on.
Thank you very much. We have a series of questions, the same questions that have gone out to all of the candidates, or that all the candidates have addressed. And we'll start with number one. You have chosen to enter this race with a goal in mind, to serve the residents of Cumberland, Colchester. What do you expect to accomplish during your term as Member of Parliament?
Well, I would hope to accomplish working with the provincial MLA to fix healthcare. First off, as you know, healthcare itself has been devastated the last 4 decades, and the only way to do that is by keeping more money in Canada to do doctor recruitment with your provincial government. Working together, you can bring in more doctors, nurses, nurse practitioners, and the ambulance attendants. As we know, ambulance attendants have been taking a lot of heat lately, not being able to get from one location to the other. But if we work as the MP with the provincial, we can look at recruiting into these areas to fix these issues. It'll be a lengthy process, but I think it can be done working with the provincial MLA and the town recruitment office.
Thank you, Mr. O'Blenis. The second question, Mr. O'Blenis, is how do you see the role of the business community in strengthening our communities? And what are the top 3 things that you will do as an MP to encourage and support business growth in the region?
Well, due to COVID, as we know, all the small businesses, when COVID hit, they were all shut down. So basically, as an MP, I would support all local businesses and work with them to bring in new business and to help expand growing ones, and possibly a small tax break for those that have been shut down. But we need to grow the infrastructure in these communities where they've been not allowed to be open to the public during the shutdown. So a lot of these businesses are hurting. So I think to offer them a financial gain to expand and support them in Cumberland, Colchester, and do their goods right straight across Cumberland, Colchester would be the way to fix that.
Okay, thank you. Our third question, across the county, there are housing shortages for people of all walks of life. There's a dire need for more housing options in Cumberland, Colchester. What is your plan to assist in increasing housing inventory, along with making it easier for people to purchase or build new homes?
Okay, well, first we need to look at the affordability of purchasing buildings that have been left vacant or anything like that. By keeping money in Canada, I think we could purchase vacant buildings that were apartment or housing units at one time and retrofit them for low-income families or seniors and stuff like that. And we can also work with the banks to come up with some kind of a grant for first-time homeowners that are building, and maybe do a reduction on the cost of buying or building a new home. And basically, like I said, there's just so much money to keep in Canada that if we did it right, we can, again, pick up vacant buildings, turn them into low-income housing with accessible wheelchair ramps for the disabled, and so on and so forth.
Okay, thank you. Our fourth question, COVID debt, climate change costs, the need to repair our aging infrastructure. The costs are going up all around us. Our economic growth has flatlined for the past 25 years. A serious, bold strategy to grow our new economy is our only way forward. What is your plan to pay for this?
Well, again, it revolves around putting Canadians first. You had to put the Canadians first and keep the money in Canada. Yes, we had to do some foreign aid, I understand that, but we need to keep more here, putting Canadians first and promoting our import and export in Canada, drawing in new business so that the economy gets that boost and everybody's either importing or exporting the products and we're getting more financial money coming back in. It's all about the import and export.
Thank you. Mr. O'Blenis, the fifth question. Nova Scotia is playing a leadership role in Canada in the fight against climate change, primarily through the work of Efficiency Nova Scotia. The federal government to date has been very supportive of this, yet there is concern the push to reduce of fossil fuel usage will have a dramatic impact on our transportation and manufacturing sector. What will you do to balance our economy with climate change action?
Well, as you know, environmentally, we've got the wind farms out here. I'd like to see more wind farms brought in. Thereby, that's going to create more infrastructure work by the building of them. We've also got the Bay of Fundy tidal project that needs the other two platforms to be completed. That would generate more employment itself. Environmentally, for getting rid of fossil fuels, we have the electric cars. Now, I've read that they're doing car charging stations every 250 kilometers or less across Canada. We can complete the rest of that project so that it's right straight across the province. And we've also got, as you know, in the industrial park out here, that solar panel community project going up. That's another innovative way that's going to create employment and create energy so that we're not using so much fossil fuels. And these are just a few ideas that need to be looked at.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Question number 6. With more of our population retiring than joining the workforce, we need to retain and attract additional people to enter the workforce. We're currently at a workforce crisis where many businesses are limiting hours due to lack of staff. What are your solutions or plan for addressing the workforce challenges?
The workforce challenges, again, as you said, the older ones are retiring, so we could look into more jobs by offering incentives to get people to work, and those that are, say, 18 to 20 that are on the system need to be made to go off the system and go in to fill these capable hours of working. You get more satisfaction from working than not working. I mean, I used to clean down at the social services building, and there were so many people coming in that were 18 to 20 that really didn't need to be on the system. They could get a job. So I think we need to look at those that are on the social assistance that really don't need to be. And thereby we can get them into the workforce and offer them the incentive to work.
Thank you. Our international competitors are working to improve their performance and create good jobs for their citizens. We know that to succeed in the face of fierce competition, we must reduce trade barriers and generate sustained business investment, jobs, and growth here, not just in the short term, but for many years. How will you achieve this?
Well, first I would like to accomplish this as MP. We have to promote our industry, not just Canada-wide, but worldwide. And we have to find a way to keep the borders open, even during times with COVID being the way it is, to get international trade going back and forth. So I would push to promote all products and at a fair rate to get money coming in and money going out. Thereby it creates an influx in the economy to have money coming in for here, and it grows our infrastructure so that we can bring more business and build more business.
Okay, thank you for that answer. Mr. O'Blenis, question number 8 is, with a wide variety of agricultural crops and animals produced in Cumberland, Colchester, what could you do to support an increase in processing in this region to grow sustainable local economy along with increasing food security?
Okay, first, the first part of your question, we can promote our agricultural locally for our farmers to local markets right straight across the riding. And for those that are having a booming sector, say for your beef and stuff like that, we can always look at, again, keeping money in Canada and injecting money into the agricultural community to help the farmers out. And for the house measures, we can do stricter measures to keep it in Canada, so it's triple grade A and there's no potential risks of going cross border to have to buy anything. It's all locally produced here. We keep it here.
Yeah, thank you. Question number 9. When do you believe the CRA should have completed a review of their principles and guidelines? And what are the most critical areas they need to address?
Well, the CRA should have done, as soon as COVID hit, they should have done a review on their guidelines and policies, because as soon as they came up with that CERB money, every Tom, Dick, and Harry was taking it, right? So, especially for small business owners, like they were forced to kind of take the money, but due to lockdowns, they had no way of generating income to pay it back. There should have been a guideline policy set up so that they had, you know, delay payments or something like that, but they want their money when they want it, right? It should have been looked at so that when the CERB money went out, a way should have been set up that they didn't, for small business, they could just hold off on a delay of payment until things opened up. But some people went bankrupt and lost their businesses because of this, and they still can't afford to pay it back.
Question number 10. Investments in digital infrastructure. Canada can tap into vast economic and human potential in rural communities. How would you invest in affordable digital infrastructure to spur on economic development in disadvantaged rural areas?
Well, a lot of areas right now, Ron, have weak high-speed internet and stuff like that. Like to go with Seaside, where the signal is very weak. We could, again, keep money in Canada, put the Canadians first, and inject more money into better internet connections, so that these ones that do work from home for call centers and stuff like that will have a stronger internet access, and they can do their online businesses and stuff from home, thereby gives them a stronger signal, and they're not missing out on generated income, and they're still supporting the economic structure of the country.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That concludes the 10 questions that we had in the question and answer period. I'd ask you now to, if you have any closing comments, please give us those.
Okay. Again, when you Cumberland, Colchester, when you go to the voting polls on Monday, September 20th, look at your options on who's on the ballot. Listen to their platforms. Don't base it on the individual, but what they have that's best to offer you, whether it's the Reds, the Greens, or the Blues, or the Independent. Listen to what they have to offer, because you are the one that would choose who will best represent you for the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Blenis. Certainly appreciate having you with us today and hearing
Thank you
what you
for
had to say. And look forward to seeing how you do on the 20th.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.